Matty, the Bombers were pretty strong in that first half against North Melbourne, but then that third quarter they sort of kicked away. What was your take on the game?
My take on the game, you saw pretty early on that Goldstein was a huge factor. I think that he kept them in it pretty much in the first half. I thought the Bombers in general play with a better side in that first half around the ground. But just in every stoppage, every hit out, you could just see that there's a ruckman on top of his game up against Sean McKernan, who gives his all, but was just probably out of his depth on the night against the most informed ruckman in the competition. So I thought there were some good chains of play. I thought that first quarter, 1-5, probably should have been another 2 goals on the board at least. Obviously, Hooker's handball over the top. You blame Joey for calling for it, and you blame Kale for actually giving it off. Obviously, there was a couple of missed opportunities as well. So they really punished the turnovers, or the mistakes that were made by the Bombers. So I think it was probably in general play, first half, Bombers were the better side, but after half time, I just thought their midfield brigade got right on top.
Hooker's taken 13 marks. How do you think that move's working at the moment?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are critical, saying if you can't finish your work, should you play someone like Kale forward? But I don't agree with that. I think that he's made Joey a much better player in the last 3 weeks since he's come into the forward line. I think that he's probably three games in the forward line in his career, and he's sort of taking 13 marks in his third game, and he kicked 3 in his first game. So we'll do a lot of work with his kicking for the rest of the year, just so he can, whether it's next year, the year after, that he can keep floating forward and be that swing man that the club's probably looking for. So I'd persevere with Kale definitely, and I think he's good enough on any given day to kick 3 or 4 a week.
Has Essendon's ball movement looked better with him as the target up forward?
I think so, yeah. I think that obviously there was a game where probably it all came to a head where the Bombers were probably moving the ball sideways too much. And I think the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think it was leading into the Hawthorn game, the ball movement's been much, much better. It's just that scoring's always been so difficult. Joey really shouldn't be the #1 key target when you're a 40-game player, but he is. That's where Hooker's been really, really good. It's just, unfortunately, the forward line's still learning about each other, still trying to gel. And as a result, they can't really put on a burst of 4 or 5 goals to take, put some scoreboard pressure on. So I think that it's just a combination of everything, where injuries, inexperience, turnovers at times, it's probably costing the Bombers from getting the 4 points on a more regular basis.
Michael Hurley spent most of his night on Jared Waite and did pretty well there. Was he the standout player?
He is, yeah. I think that Michael, I had him in the best 4 players on the ground. I think that his ability to just come over the top with big thumping spoils, his ball use. He's playing on forwards who are dangerous. They're having a handful of possessions. He's having 20 plus. So just shows the form he's in. A lot of people want him in the forward line, but I think he's a type of player that you just let settle and play in the defence where he's very, very happy. So I think he was great. I thought that Goddard tried hard. I thought Heppel was tagged out of it, which was tough. I think he probably needs a little bit more support. And obviously Hooker, with his 13 grabs, was pretty influential as well.
Another tough challenge this week against Port Adelaide, who played pretty well on the weekend. Matty, we'll look forward to that game with you later in the week.
Thanks, Simon.